You're dying much faster than you think. This is your life in weeks. Did you catch that? In a blink of an eye, it's gone. We are a generation addicted to escapism, and nothing quite shines like that screen. In this video, we're going to investigate why so many people didn't just play games, but retreated into them. Chapter 1, The First Portal. How old were you when you played your first game? Was it the Game Boy Color? Perhaps the Atari? Maybe even the Xbox One? Millennials and Gen Zs weren't just introduced to gaming, we were born into it. I was 13 when I first laid my eyes on World of Warcraft. The login portal, the theme music, the promise of an alternative world. One I didn't even know that I needed so desperately. It was the swell of pot noodles and sweat, an early 2000s internet cafe, £2 an hour, and I was promised a fantasy. Me and my friends, we gamed until the sun came up every summer. And as we sat there, shoulder to shoulder, I discovered a way to both diminish my presence in the world. And I did not despair at my soul's evaporation. By the contrary, I was liberated by it. Was it the difference in power between reality and unreality? Perhaps it was the order of the pixels against the chaos of the world. Was it the clear rules against the abyss of real life where every path is lost to the fog of ignorance? Or was it simpler than that? Belonging, perhaps, a guild, a shared quest, celebrating dungeon victories and grieving pointless death. For the first time, it seemed to make sense. Chapter 2, Living Inside the Screen. Let us go back 20 years. The grey light would filter through the dusty blinds, the birds would begin to chirp, and I'm still there, staring at the fading monitor that was obscenely large in that dismal grey colour that faded from white. Eyes wide, body exhausted, a loud click, disconnected. Dial-up internet. Welcome to the early 2000s. The world disappears, I climb into bed, and even then, I play my character in my dreams. Still chasing levels, still desiring rare loot drops, still trying to become something, anything than what I was in reality. I didn't just play the game, oh no, I lived through it. Because outside the screen, my life was chaos and suffering. No control over my time, no agency, no freedom. School, doctors, vague threats of parents going into jail if attendance doesn't improve. I never believed them. And I learned something quite dangerous, I suppose, that if you remain immovable and steadfast in your pursuits long enough, that everyone will give up around you eventually. So I withdrew. And as my real life shrank, the game expanded. Endless hours. I shrank so much from life that I would throw off the shackles of the flesh. I would retreat from my soul within to the digital world, and I would carry this resentment towards the body and the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes. And yes, I wore the shackles of Blizzard Entertainment willingly. It was my perfect enslavement. In that world I could become nothing, and strangely that felt like freedom. You know the feeling, standing underneath the night sky, or with your eyes looking at the ocean, that all-devouring sense of awe, and the strange contrary feeling of your ego being diminished and feeling small but desiring such a feeling, and somehow relieved. Yes, that was the feeling. I was relieved. The diminishing of the ego that we all fear, but secretly it is the awe and dread that will set us free. That's what MMOs gave me, you know. Ego dissolution, escape from desire, relief from being me. Because when reality offers no meaning, the mind creates its own. Not through religion nor philosophy, but through the contrast of pixels and the binary 0-1s that was the new DNA of my life. Level bars were my dopamine and purpose. Progress was my belief system, a dopaminergic religion, if you will. And I sacrificed my time on its altar. Suffering has an akathisia ache to it, doesn't it slow time? But MMOs, they are amphetamine to the clock hands. And if you focus on the screen harder, it will destroy the hands of the clocks entirely. Chapter 3. Escapism. Is that the problem? Here's the truth most people get wrong. Gaming addiction isn't the disease. It's a symptom. It's a symptom of something far more pernicious. Suffering and nihilism. Two pillars of our modern world, it seems. Parents blame the games, but the games are meeting a need very important. It's a need that reality has failed to meet. We are generations that have lost faith in religion, lost connection to community and third spaces, lost trust in institutions as they have been revealed for the corrupt, satanic worship that they really are. We work jobs we hate for money that barely sustains us. We scroll endlessly and feel flat, indifferent, apathetic and lonely. Life doesn't feel meaningful, it feels fragmented and maligned. We are the middle child of two worlds. The old path was education, career, marriage, and the new, be anything you want. We hate both because we know the former is lost and the latter is terrifying. Freedom without direction is just another form of chaos, is it not? And what do games offer? Clear goals, clear rules, clear progress. Kill 10 enemies, gain experience, level up. Simple, predictable, rewarding. Reality offers none of that. But you know that already, don't you, dear viewer? So of course we choose the game. Of course we choose it. Just like that lonely rat in isolation, it will press that pedal for cocaine until his heart gives out. Chapter 4. The generational trap. This isn't just personal. No, it's generational. We are delayed adulthood without the money to afford homes. We cannot afford independence, cannot access the life our parents had. We are the Peter Pan generation. We are stuck, sick, nihilistic, and we turn to maladaptations, not from senseless hedonism, but because we have specific emotional needs that go unmet. We learn what the older generations won't admit, namely, that the system is broken. Social media amplifies it. Everyone looks better, everyone lives better, everyone is better. Yes, the thief of joy, indeed. Meanwhile, our communities disappear, our third spaces vanish, and our identities fragment more and more every day. We face a question no generation before us had to answer. Who are you when you can be anyone, apparently? And worse, what if none of it matters? That is the abyss. And when you stand at the edge and flirt with the event horizon, a game becomes more than entertainment, it becomes shelter from the perilous winds. Chapter 5, the psychology of escape. Escapism isn't weakness, it's adaptation. We live through characters because we believe our own lives are dead ends. When reality becomes overwhelming, the mind seeks refuge, does it not? MMOs provide three things reality doesn't: control, progress, belonging. That's it. That's the formula. You're not addicted to the game, you're addicted to what the game gives you that life does not. And until that gap is addressed, nothing changes. God of the gaps indeed. Chapter 6, the cost of disappearing. You don't want to hear this, but you don't have as much time as you think you do, my friend. But here's the part no one will admit: you are trading your life for it. Not dramatically, not all at once, but slowly, quietly, week by week, day by day, hour by hour, second by second. And like the frog that will boil alive if the temperature is turned up slowly enough, so too we will fall into the gaps of digital entertainment if we do not claim our lives back. The thing is, time passes anyway, whether you log in or not. And one day you'll look back and realise you didn't just play the game, but the game played you, and you replaced your life with it. This has migrated through all dimensions of life, mind you. Romantic. We are now reduced to a paragraph and the scrolling of 2D pixels. Occupational. We retreat from offices and workplaces to Zoom meetings. Theological. Congregations no longer meet in person, but on the screen. Films and series. We live vicariously through it all. It's all been reduced to lights and a screen. A black mirror, indeed. So what do we do? If gaming addiction is a symptom, then nihilism is the disease. I have seen the powers of screens from an objective place. Bewitch my 3-year-old daughter's eyes. She can go from a full screaming fit to absolute mute silence as soon as she holds a phone. Silence, mute. However, this negative stimuli isn't expelled, but multiplied and stored and delayed. All hell breaks loose when the phone is eventually taken back. And imagine that over a lifetime. You don't quit escapism by force. It doesn't work. Believe me, I've tried. You replace it. Like any addiction, you cannot just give up. Us humans don't like losing things. You must replace it with something more compelling. Build a life brick by brick. Hardness and the difficulty that will reward you. You build a life that offers the same 3 things: real control, real progress, real connection, true meaning. Forget the artificial. We do not want artificial control, progress, connection, or meaning. It is a poor proxy. It is a poor proxy. You make life compelling as the game is seen as a downgrade. Of course, all things in moderation and recreation, time within it, place and limits is healthy, of course. Because until reality becomes meaningful, you will always return to the screen. We all do. Not because you're weak, but because it functions. And that's the uncomfortable truth. We didn't choose MMOs over reality. Reality failed to compete.